Hello and welcome once again, fellow gaming fans. This is Small Archangel. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Rising World Medieval Build and Shop. Our shop build, we've got a couple of shop fronts here, and as you can see, again, I've done a little bit of work on them over off camera. Not a lot really. Basically, they look pretty much the same as they did before. Basically, all I've done is continue the timbering all the way around the outside, so you can see that that is kind of more or less the same sort of design of timbering all the way around the outside. Of course, anything we do in this game is going to look more regular than it would do in, you know, sort of a real kind of build, because everything is absolutely four square, which in a medieval, you know, really wouldn't have been. But hey, just got to imagine it's a little bit more wonky and irregular than it is. But that is basically the idea. So that is the ground floor, obviously. Now we're going to need to put some flooring in here as well, and we're going to need to put in the upper floor at this kind of level here. I've made some blocks for the purpose, and it... Ooh, I don't want it there, do I? Oh, look, I can put floor there, because that is not actually... That's a beam rather than floor. I do hope that's not going to cause us any problems, but I don't think it is. Now, if our floor is at this level, and that is the idea, is that our floor is at this level, we're actually going to need some more steps to get up there, aren't we? So let's just take out, oopsie, this block here, and we're going to need one more stair block there. And I think I've got... Well, I've got one left, but I'm going to need a bit more than that, aren't I? There we... Oh, hello. There we go. So let's just go, oops, up to our workbench, our block bench here, and see if we can make ourselves some of these. Oh, piece of log. I've dropped the logs, that's why. Let's go to the carpenters. We've got lots of logs here. I'm kind of trying to keep stuff in places where we've got a block bench here as well, of course. Oops. Try to keep stuff in places where it sort of makes sense. Here we go. So we want... Oh goodness, our stairs are made out of this one here. So there. And we probably do need about... Yeah, we can only make them in 6 anyway, so there we are. Okay, folks, so far we've got the odd suggestion for names for places. I already know what the inn is going to be called, but we're still lacking... That needs to go the other way around, thank you very much. We're still lacking names for a lot of our locations here, so don't forget, if you... I mean, I will name them by myself quite happily, but at the same time, I would quite like some involvement from other people as well, so that, you know, it's a little bit of a sense of collaboration, even though I am doing this by myself. That I have been considering the possibility, having said that, of doing a more of a collaborative multiplayer series of this, or, you know, sort of co-op or something at least. Oops, that's not quite where I wanted it. There we go. Because we, of course, do have sort of multiplayer is now definitely an option in this game, albeit that it doesn't seem to work entirely according to plan all of the time. Okay, I don't think we've got enough blocks for that, have we? Okay, how many do I have? 4. There we are. I've got plenty more in here, so so there we go. Hopefully we'll have enough to finish this off with. There we go. So yeah, so kind of watch this space just in case that comes off. But the only problems I've had with it so far, I did try to do a sort of a co-op with Lady de Winter, but being in America, I think her server was sort of a bit too far away for... Oh, I need to take that out, evidently it's in my way. Her server was just perhaps a little bit too distant, and my ping was ridiculously high, and so I don't know if that will be tweaked in future, but certainly at the moment that's not working ever so well. Now, it may be that actually it wasn't the blocks above my head that was a problem then. It may be that actually I couldn't get up because I couldn't get up that first step. Yeah, there we go. I thought that I didn't need such a big gap. That's great. Okay, so we'll finish the floor likewise on the opposite side. I've got a goat in my shop. What is it with these animals? Okay, we're going to need to fill that bit in there as well, I think, aren't we? That's something else we're going to need to do. I don't need to occupy the block, the same block as the beam. That's just a waste of blocks. Okay, so I've pretty much finished that. So we've got the stairs in there now, and the floors above as well. So you can see there's our two shops and the floor, and the level of the floor. And then these timbers here, it doesn't matter that they're sort of sticking out slightly, because mostly they're going to probably carry on onto the next floor. I'll get a good view of my farm from here as well. They're mostly going to carry on straight up for the next level. Although we are going to have a bit of a medieval kind of overhang thing going on at the front here. So we're going to have two floors above this, and we're going to see if we can build, I don't know, we can build two floors in one episode. We'll see how we do. But obviously, people would live above the shop, and you know, you might even have sort of more than one family living above a shop. Honestly, I'm not entirely certain, but we're going to have two floors above this, and each successive floor is going to overhang by just a little bit, so we're going to need so many beams. But I've been collecting, you know, wood, so hopefully we've got enough wood for the job. So we're going to have to do a bit of decorating inside the shop and things, but after we finish constructing the building. So for the moment, what I want to do is get the floor laid in here. I think that's something that we kind of need to do, because now I've got a load of blocks here, and hopefully they'll be sufficient. They probably won't be, to be honest, but you know, we'll see how we do with these, because this is the flooring that we probably want in here, this stone. We're probably going to need to make some more. Oops, I'm still having mouse issues. I think I'm going to have to get a new mouse, because it just keeps losing contact. There we go. Yeah, so we're going to get the floor in here, and then we're going to find it a bit easier to get up our stairs, because at the moment we're not really able to get upstairs till we do this. Okay, there we go, and I've even got a few blocks left, not very many though. There we go. I'll just put those out of the way there. So I'm probably going to have to kill this goat, because I can't, like, shove it out. And once an animal gets in, you see, I can't move it. It's like a bit of concrete. Once an animal gets into your builds, they just don't flipping well get back out again, like, ever. Much as I like them, they are a bit of a pain when they get in the way. So there we go. That is that kind of finished. I think I should have put doors on, and that, you know, that would resolve the problem really of them have to jump through the windows to get in. So my fault for not putting doors on the place, really. I've set up a scaffolding here, but actually probably now that we can get up the stairs, don't need that so much. So we can get on now. We've got our crowbar and we've got our sledgehammer, so we can fix this, you know, replace the blocks if we need to. We've only got 30 wood beams at this point, so I'm going to need more than that. But of course, we're going to build our structure first. So I will just equip all of our blocks here. Now, one of the things that is difficult, I know what I want to do with the front of this, but I can't really see ever so clearly what I'm doing from up here. It's kind of like being at the wrong angle to see, really. But one thing I do know for sure is, as I said earlier, we actually want an overhang of wood block like that. Now, what we might do is make that overhang out of beam, like we did last time. So I will just rescue that. So having said everything I just said, let's just see. Oh my, that looks a little bit messed up, doesn't it? That looks very messed up, actually. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. That doesn't look right. What is this supposed to be? It's supposed to be a wood beam. It doesn't look like a wood beam. It looks like a mess. Can I do anything with that? Ah, okay. It seems to have resolved itself now. That is a graphical glitch I have never spotted before. I've never noticed before. Okay, so what we want to do, perhaps we're going to have to be down here to do this. We want this to be maximum length as well. That is maximum length. And we'll just try it like this. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually going to work. We can do wood blocks, of course, but the beams are a bit more efficient if you can persuade them to go where you need them to go. Okay, so what we might have to do is, first of all, you are in my way, Nancy, go. You really are. What we might have to do is this first, and I'm probably going to have to remove these blocks, to be honest, eventually. Oh, I don't know what's best to do because I'm going to have to take all those out again if I put them there. I just want this to go there, and it's not going to want to go there. Okay, I think that's where we want it to be. Surely good. I had to put a few blocks in, but hopefully we won't have to do that too much. And then there we go. And we're going to need a slightly shorter one on this end. So let's just shorten that. Hopefully to the right length. Oops. That might be a whisker too short. Try that. There we go. So there is our overhang. And then we're going to be doing, wood blocks above that. Or rather, sorry, the wattle and daub, the plaster blocks above that. But before we do that, we're just gonna try something out here, which I don't know. Probably want them to be roughly that. Let's just try this. Is that straight? Not yet. And then we need to shorten that. And what we really want to do here is some sort of supports. About that, well, yeah, roughly about the same kind of length as we've got. Right, let's just put that on grid. Oh, now if we put it on grid, oh, that's getting confused. I'm not sure if it's going to work quite as well. And that sort of sticks out a little bit proud, which we don't really want. We probably want it there. Let's just see if we can do this without the grid and make it the right kind of length. Okay, so this is kind of what I mean. And hopefully these will work out. Yeah, they'll work out pretty well. And this is obviously using up quite a lot of our wood beams, but it gives a really nice effect. And it's Muggins here who has to go out and collect all the wood anyway, so. Okay, and it looks like we're going to need, to sort of fill in a little bit there because we haven't quite got that even. But again, we'll deal with that later. So there we go. So we've just got some little wood sort of supports there. And we might want as well to make this just a whisker thinner. And I don't know, maybe do a little bit longer. And something like that would be kind of nice. Perhaps a little thicker than that. Maybe that. Nice. Just on the ends. Just on the edges there, like so. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So now we're good and ready to make our second story. And of course we're going to start there, but before we do that, I think all of this can be just in the plaster here. So we'll just whiz round with that. And we need to take out these two blocks here, of course. And then we seem to have a little bit of these blocks clipping through slightly, but I'm not going to let that worry me over much at this point. We'll do perhaps something to conceal those, like we can put in a wood beam all the way along the front there, and that will conceal that, and that will be fine. And then, of course, we're going to need our dividing wall down the middle here as well. There we go, so that marks that out. And then we're going to need to put in our windows, or mark out where our windows are going to be anyway. There we are. That tree there is going to be clipping through the wall, so I might have to take it down, and then if it drops any seeds, we'll plant the tree somewhere a little bit further away, because that's a little bit obtrusive at the moment. Okay, so this is our front elevation, and I just placed a block on top of another block, which is a little bit not what I meant to do at all. This is our front elevation, and here we want windows at the front. I'll leave that dividing wall out for the moment, I think. And our windows probably don't want to be quite at this level, actually. So they probably want to be at that level, that height, because these are not going to be particularly large windows. We perhaps want some at the sides also. I believe we've got windows in the middle here, and I might put some at the back as well, but again, not particularly large ones. And if I put some at the back, I'll probably just put sort of one window at the rear, kind of like that. And again, yeah, probably not at this level. Let's just mark it there. And we'll have them kind of that height, I think. I can rethink that later on if I think it's a bit too high. But they're more sort of for letting light in than looking out of. Alright, so you can see, it's the next day, you can see what I've done here. We've actually got two sort of small windows at the side, one at the front, one at the back. Now, I might rethink that and not have any at the back at all. I don't know. I don't want to, you know, have too many windows in here because it's not really, authentic. It wouldn't have very much in the way of windows. It certainly wouldn't have very much in the way of glass because it's just insanely expensive. So I might... Hello, still got a goat downstairs. I might rethink that, and we might just have, no windows at the rear at all, or no windows at the side, or something. I'm not entirely sure yet, but anyway, so that's the state of things at the moment. We can currently get up on top of the walls, which is kind of good because that's going to enable us to sort of continue to build. At least I hope. And so what we need to do is just sort of make this all somewhat taller. I'll leave a central wall for later so that we can access everywhere else for the time being. I can't get up there now, can I? No. Oh my, there we go. I'm already unable to get up there. There we go. I can do that though. Okay, so we've just got one small window at each side now, which I think is going to be more than enough, more than adequate, quite honestly. There we go. And we've got relatively high up windows. And what we want at this point, I think, getting quite fond of these beams, what we want at this point is yet more of the same as what we had before with the beams. So we're going to make some more large beams and hope, yet again, that they actually behave themselves and will be placed where they need to be. No. Full size beam. There we go. Full size, full length. And we'll stick the grid on. And I hope that this works. There we go. Now, trouble is, I need to hop up here. So I've placed that, made that wall a little bit like, I think that's right, but I'm not honestly sure. I can't really tell from here. Okay, so is that correct? I don't know. I can't judge from here. I think there is right. Let's hope so, eh? I can get across now to just check. Yeah, that's the one. That's where we want it. And there. And another one here. Is that? That might not be the... There we go. That's where we want it. And then this one needs to be a little bit shorter. No. Shorter. And that's probably too short, isn't it? Or is that going to be the right length? Kind of looks like the right length from where I am, but actually I don't think it is. I think it needs to be a bit longer. I think it needs to be that length. Yes it does. Okay, and then we're probably going to want to go around the outside and place these wood blocks all the way around the outside, as we did on the first story. So that's what I'm going to do. And then after that, oh my, is that going to be... Don't know where that goes to. Oh, how annoying. Oh, no, I could just swivel this one around and then we're good, aren't we? There we go. And then obviously I'm going to have to place some more... timbering and what have you as well. I think that's correct there. Hey, there we go. So I'm going to need to make yet more planks because I used up quite a lot of them there. Sorry, beams, not planks. There we are. Okay, so that's that. That is basically the top of our wall there, just as it was below. Let's just take a look at that from below and see what it's looking like. Well, a little bit bland at the moment, obviously. And yeah, we're going to put the timbering on there, and we're also going to need some window frames. Now, how many windows are we talking about here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got quite a few window frames to deal with there as well. I think we've got about 3, haven't we? 1 at the front, 1 at the side, and 1 at the back. So that's 6 altogether. So we're going to need to put some window frames in there as well, and that's going to make it look somewhat better. But we're also going to need to do the wood timbering. So I'm going to make some more wood beams, and I'm going to make some window frames, because, and I'll go to the carpenters for that. It's a good place for it. Don't you dare wander into there. Maybe I should shut doors after me, just to make sure pigs and goats don't wander around every one of my buildings. And I'm going to make some window frames as well. I think we've got a spare window frame somewhere, but perhaps not in here. And I'm going to need some wood. There we go, and I've actually made 1 too many window frames. Not quite sure how I did that. I think I had a spare one somewhere. There we go, so that's our window frames in place. Now, I think we're ready to put on a bit of timbering to this floor. In any case, if we get this floor finished in this episode, the floor above it is going to look very, very similar, and then we'll just have to put the roof on. She says. And we probably want a slate roof on this building. As I say, this building is a little bit later than the others. It's more like 14th century than 13th. Yeah, I've got a little bit of tidy up to do there perhaps, but probably not actually. That looks just about right. So we're perhaps going to need our scaffolding here, our second scaffolding. Possibly not though, because all I really need is these beams. Let's just get these the right kind of height. They can be a little bit awkward to do, so I might have a bit of fiddling around to do, but oh, I think that needs to be a little bit, oh no, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Gee. Now, I might have some fiddling around to do to get these beams to go where I want them to go, just because I did have problems when I was doing the lower story. And of course, some of them are not going to be able to go absolutely straight up, because we do have beams in slightly different positions on the lower floor as well. We're going to be able to put in a central one there, I hope. But I think it might have to go... Don't know. I'm not sure. I think maybe I need my scaffolding around the front here. So I'm going to move my scaffolding, because I think I need access to the front. Right. There we go. All right. Oh, so difficult to get up there. There we go. Okay. And then, yeah, I don't know. I find it difficult sometimes to get these beams to go where you want them to go. Now, this one's too long anyway. I even need to be a little bit further away than this, I think. See, that one's clipping through the wall, which is what I want it to do. So let's see if we can shorten it off. Actually, we want it to be the right kind of length. Yeah, I need to be further back for this. I can't really see what's going on there. But we do want it to clip through the wall, and we want it to be absolutely central. And now the scaffold is actually getting in my way. So, forget the scaffolding. I don't think it's going to help. But that is probably pretty much what we want right there. And we're going to have a few of those just the same, like there, for example. And then it's a shame I can't put one right there. Maybe I should just the same. I don't know. But it looks to me like they ought to meet up with the... But perhaps not. Perhaps I shouldn't worry over much about that one. I don't know. We're going to need one definitely on the corners. So we'll put one on the corners. Move this as well. There we are. Like that. And then, yes, where we put them in between, I don't know. Maybe we need to make sure that they're against the windows more than anything else. So perhaps that needs actually to be more like that kind of length there, rather than continuing on. Yeah, I think that's probably better like that. So we'll get my trusty crowbar. There we go, and rethink that one. Yeah, I definitely think that is more the look that we're going for here. That's about right. So that's probably the amount of uprights that we need on the front there. And perhaps not even that. Again, I might rethink that. That there might be a better way that we can do that. I'm not sure. Do you know what? I quite like that, actually. I quite like the horizontal bar going across like that. And then, if I just hit backspace, we can divide this, maybe, and have a vertical timber there, right in the middle. These won't line up with the support beams underneath, but that doesn't actually matter. That doesn't actually matter. And then what we need is, yeah, like that, but I have to get them going this direction. And again, they might want to be a tiny bit shorter or thinner for that. And we'll do that, and we'll see if we can get one to continue up this way as well. Is that, yeah, that's good. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so we'll do that on the other side as well. Now, is that correct? It's not quite, actually, and I'm not quite sure why. I will try and replicate that on this side before I do anything else. And it should work out, because both sides are the same. So it should work out both sides, but let's just make sure we get this right first time. There we go. Now we can see where it's continuing from. Oops, that's a bit too long. There we are. That's nice. I like that. Now, I might have to put a couple of little uprights by the windows, just because they look a little bit sort of stark and nude at the moment. And a bit difficult to judge from this angle what's going to be the correct size, and I'm not sure whether they need to go absolutely all the way up to the roof. They perhaps do. Well, to the next story. Yeah, that's pretty much what I intended, and I am starving and dehydrated, but that is pretty much what I intended. So now we've got the rest of the timbering to do on the sides. And that is going to look pretty similar to what's down below, really. Or maybe it should look a bit more similar to what's above. Maybe I'll make it on the model of what we have above rather than what we have below. So there we go. And we still have a goat in our shop. So we're probably going to have to put some doors. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure that we want doors on there. That might sound silly, but I'm not entirely sure that we need doors on there per se. They may well have just been open, but we've got one more thing that we're going to do in this episode, and that is finish off the windows, but we're going to have to do that when it gets light again. So for the time being, I shall retire for the night. See you guys in the morning. Alright, so with the windows, we kind of know the drill by now. They're going to look a bit like these here. In fact, oops, very like these here. We're going to do the same sort of model. So we're going to need G again, and we're going to need this to be the thinnest possible, and we're probably going to need it to be somewhat shorter than it currently is as well. Although with these front ones, actually, I'd quite like, let me just see if I can make this the right length. There we go. I prefer to avoid clipping if I can manage it. I quite like the idea of doing that. So we've actually got a slightly thicker one in the middle, and I think that looks pretty good. I like that. Okay, so the side one here, I'm not going to worry about that because it's a smaller window. But then the back one, I'll do the same. So then we've got a bit of an effect of mullions going on, which is my intention. There we go. Nice. Yeah, I like that. Okay. And we'll just hop through here and do the same thing. So that wants to be the same on this side, and I'll just fill in the outside ones. There we go. And then this middle one just wants to be a bit thicker. There we are. And the same there. And that just makes them look a little bit less like prison bars and a little bit more like mullions with glass panes. And I think ultimately we will put glass panes certainly in the later period building. So this one would have had glass, albeit, you know, sort of quite sort of charmingly wobbly and irregular looking, and that's why we have the sort of small areas, because making large glass panes is extremely difficult to do, and as well as expensive. So yeah, we will probably put panes of glass in these, but currently, of course, we have no sand with which to. Oh, it's raining! How charming! With which to make ourselves some glass. So we're a bit stuck for glass at the moment, but again, that is quite nice and authentic, really. And then I've only got 4 wood beams left now, but I'm going to need to make some more, because I'm going to need. Now, is that the right size? I think it is. I'm going to need to create some more. No, I think it ought to be 1 thicker than that, doesn't it? I'm going to need to continue our wood timbering here. So I've got 1 to place on this corner for a start off. Actually, I think that is a little too thick. No, it's not. It's the right length like that. Right. Width like that. But whether it will actually, I don't know, play nice and go on this corner, I'm not sure it's going to do that. Not from that angle anyway. So again, I'm going to have to mess about a little bit to be able to do that. But this is looking good. So basically, we've got 1 more story to go. And I might just do that off camera, because it's going to look like that, guys. It's going to look the same as this, only, you know, a story higher up, and again kind of jutting out 1 block further, but it's going to be based on the same model. So I think I'll do that off camera, and then in the next episode after that, with the next episode basically we will put the roof on and we will do the decorating. So we'll kind of decorate and furnish the joint. None of these buildings are going to be that lavishly decorated anyway, so it's not like we've got that much to do. To be honest, the most time-consuming thing is, well, grinding for resources, but the most time-consuming thing is trying to, you know, fit the timbering. That's quite a fiddly job sometimes, because if you don't use G, the beams don't clip through the walls. And if you do use G, sometimes they clip where you really don't actually want them to clip. So yeah, don't necessarily go exactly where you plan. So it is a bit of a fiddly job, which is why I do a lot of it kind of off camera. But anyway, guys, so I hope you like the way that this is going. Of course, eventually, in the next episode, we are going to, when we do our furnishing and decorating, we're going to have to designate these shops. So we're going to have to say what they're going to be, what kind of shops they're going to be. And we're going to have, I don't know, we're going to have about at least 4 shops. So I might sort of copy and paste this one with a blueprint, possibly, but it would have to be on the same orientation. I don't think we can revolve blueprints yet. I couldn't the last time I tried anyway. So yes, we might have to do that. But yes, we're going to have a few more shops around the place as well. And yeah, we will use blueprints a little bit, especially with the houses, because I don't want to be having to repeat build houses. It does take a long old time to make these builds and things. So okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button and let me know. And also feel free, as ever, to leave me your comments there and your suggestions. And don't forget, if you want any of the buildings named after yourself, or you want to name them yourself, then go ahead and do that. Let me know in the comments. And I am making a note of that. And we will have a bit of a name game episode where we'll sort of name them all up. Okay, folks, so till the next episode or the next video, keep gaming, keep surviving, and stay happy. Bye-bye for now.